The 1984 penny, a coin that many people might overlook in their pockets, actually holds some interesting secrets. While it may seem like just another piece of change, certain 1984 pennies can be incredibly valuable, worth far more than their humble 1-cent face value. This simple coin has a rich history, intriguing minting errors, and potential for rare variations that can make it a hidden gem for collectors. Imagine discovering that the penny in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars. Surprising, right? But it's true. The 1984 penny, with its subtle design changes and occasional minting flaws, is far from ordinary. Before diving into the details about these rare pennies, it's essential to understand the history of the U.S. penny. The penny has been a part of American currency since the country's early days. First minted in 1793, it went through various design changes and material compositions over the centuries. While pennies were initially made of pure copper, the rising cost of copper in the 1980s prompted the U.S. Mint to change the composition. Starting in 1982, pennies were made with a copper-plated zinc core, and this marked the end of solid copper pennies. The 1984 penny, produced after this transition, featured the new zinc composition and marked the continuation of the penny's design, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The penny in 1984 was part of a shift toward lighter, more cost-effective coinage. The new composition was a response to the increasing cost of copper and was intended to make penny production more affordable. Pennies became lighter and thinner, and their composition changed from mostly copper to copper-plated zinc. The copper-plated zinc pennies, starting in 1982, are distinct from the older all-copper pennies, and this transition is a significant milestone in the history of U.S. coins. This change to a zinc core gave the penny a slightly different feel and appearance compared to earlier, heavier pennies. It also meant that the penny was now worth more in material than it was worth in currency. This led some people to even wonder if it would ever be worth scrapping pennies for their metal content. In terms of design, the 1984 penny still featured the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, which had been introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th president's 100th birthday. This design by Victor David Brenner is among the most recognized and enduring in U.S. coinage. On the reverse side of the 1984 penny is the Lincoln Memorial, which had been the reverse design since 1959. The penny's inscription includes E pluribus unum, liberty, and, of course, the year, 1984, with the mint mark located at the bottom, indicating where the coin was produced. The lack of a mint mark on pennies produced in Philadelphia is important for collectors, as mint marks can add value to certain coins. While the 1984 penny might seem like just another ordinary coin, there are specific aspects of this year's issue that make it unique and potentially valuable to collectors. One of the most interesting aspects of any coin, including the 1984 penny, is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production of a coin. These mistakes can sometimes result in rare coins that are worth significantly more than face value. The 1984 penny, like many other coins from its era, is known to have some of these errors. One of the most famous errors associated with the 1984 penny is the double die error. This happens when the dies used to stamp the design onto the coin are misaligned or double struck, resulting in a design that looks doubled in certain areas. The double die error often affects the date or the lettering, and it can create a striking visual difference on the coin. The 1984 D double die obverse, for instance, is particularly sought after by collectors due to the clear doubling of the number 4 in the year. This error is one of the most significant and valuable 1984 penny varieties, and it can sell for hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. Another minting error to look out for is the off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. An off-center penny can vary in its degree of misalignment. Some may be slightly off-center, while others could be drastically misaligned. The more dramatic the shift, the more valuable the coin is. Off-center strikes are rare, and coins with this error can be worth significantly more than their 1-cent face value. A 1984 penny with an off-center strike can be worth hundreds of dollars, and the uniqueness of each error coin makes them highly prized by collectors. Another type of error that can increase the value of a 1984 penny is a die crack. Die cracks occur when the minting die itself becomes damaged over time. This can leave visible cracks or marks on the coin, which can make it stand out from other pennies. Die cracks are less dramatic than double die errors or off-center strikes, but they still add rarity and value to the coin. Collectors are often on the lookout for pennies with interesting die cracks, as they represent a piece of history and a unique imperfection in the minting process. While the 1984 penny might not seem valuable at first glance, these types of errors are what make it a potentially lucrative coin for collectors. The combination of minting flaws and the rarity of error coins make certain 1984 pennies much more valuable than their face value. In fact, a 1984 penny with the right error could easily be worth thousands of dollars, and there are collectors who are actively searching for these rare finds. So, how do you spot these valuable 1984 pennies? It all starts with careful inspection. One of the most important things to look for is any unusual doubling in the design, especially in the date or lettering. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you see the fine details of the coin. Pay attention to any off-center strikes, where the design appears misaligned, and keep an eye out for cracks or other damage on the coin's surface. If you happen to find a penny with any of these errors, it's worth holding on to and getting it appraised by a professional numismatist to determine its value. In the world of coin collecting, the 1984 penny is just one example of how a simple piece of currency can be worth much more than its face value. Minting errors like the double die, off-center strike, and die cracks have turned many ordinary pennies into valuable treasures. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the 1984 penny is a great example of how paying attention to small details can lead to discovering rare and valuable coins. So the next time you come across a 1984 penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know what hidden treasures might be waiting to be found. The 1963 penny is another significant coin in U.S. history, as it represents a part of the ongoing circulation of the Lincoln cent, a design that had been in use since 1909. While most pennies from this year are worth only their face value, there are factors that make the 1963 penny of particular interest to collectors and numismatists. The design, composition, minting errors, and rarity of certain 1963 pennies can all contribute to their value and make them highly sought after in the world of coin collecting. First, let's delve into the historical context of the 1963 penny. By this point, the U.S. Mint had been producing the Lincoln cent for more than 5 decades. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, featured a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, of the coin and, from 1959 onwards, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, back. The 1963 penny, like its immediate predecessors, features this reverse design, which was created to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design would remain in use until 2008, when the U.S. Mint began introducing new reverse designs for the Lincoln cent as part of the Lincoln Bicentennial Series. The 1963 penny, like the 1962 penny before it, is made primarily of copper. The composition at the time was 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This is the composition that most people associate with pennies from this era, as it was not until 1982 that the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition. Copper pennies from the early 1960s, including the 1963 penny, tend to develop a distinctive reddish-brown color as they age. Over time, the coins will develop a natural patina, which can add character to the coin, especially for collectors who appreciate coins with some wear. When evaluating the 1963 penny, the primary factor that determines its value is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor, P, to mint state, MS, with higher grades indicating better preserved coins. The condition of the coin is influenced by factors such as how well the design is defined, the extent of any wear or scratches, and whether the coin has been cleaned or altered in any way. A 1963 penny in mint condition, without any signs of wear and tear, will be worth more than a coin that has been heavily circulated and damaged. These well-preserved coins are typically graded in the higher ranges, such as MS-65 or MS-66. However, finding a 1963 penny in mint condition is quite rare, as most coins from this era were widely circulated and show signs of wear. Even in cases where the coin does show some signs of wear, collectors may still find value in these pennies, particularly if they are part of a complete set or have other factors that contribute to their desirability. In addition to its condition, another factor that can significantly affect the value of the 1963 penny is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes made during the production process at the U.S. Mint, resulting in coins that are flawed in some way. These errors can be relatively minor, such as die cracks or slight misalignments, or they can be more dramatic, like off-center strikes or double dies. Minting errors are particularly valuable to collectors, as they represent rare, unique examples of U.S. coinage. One common minting error on the 1963 penny is the double die error, which occurs when the coin's dies are improperly aligned or worn, causing the design to appear doubled or shifted. Double dies are particularly noticeable on the date and lettering, such as the 1963 date or Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. A 1963 penny with a double die error can be worth much more than its face value, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. These errors are relatively rare, which is why they are so highly sought after by collectors. Another minting error to watch out for is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press. This misalignment causes part of the design to be missing or misaligned, giving the coin a distinctive appearance. Off-center strikes can vary in severity, from minor misalignments to dramatic examples where a large portion of the design is missing. Off-center pennies are considered rare and can command a premium price, especially if the misalignment is significant. In addition to double die errors and off-center strikes, another type of minting error that can be found on the 1963 penny is the die crack. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged, typically from wear over time. This results in a visible crack appearing on the coin, usually along the design or in an area of the coin where the crack in the die was most pronounced. Die cracks are relatively common but still add a level of interest for collectors who focus on error coins. The 1963 penny is also an interesting coin because of its place in the broader history of U.S. coinage. As the country moved through the early 1960s, it was a time of significant cultural and political change. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, President John F. Kennedy was in office, and the country was facing the looming threat of the Cold War. The 1963 penny, produced during this turbulent time, serves as a reminder of the era and the ongoing circulation of coinage that played a role in everyday life during these years. Collectors who specialize in U.S. coinage from the 1960s may seek out a 1963 penny as part of a larger collection, particularly if they are building a set of Lincoln cents or are focusing on coins from specific years. In addition, some collectors may be interested in acquiring a 1963 penny that was minted in a specific location. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities, including those in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and pennies minted at each of these locations can have different mint marks. A 1963 penny from the Denver Mint, marked with a D mint mark, or from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, may be of particular interest to collectors. Although the 1963 penny is not typically considered a rare coin, there are some factors that can make it valuable to collectors. The coin's condition, the presence of minting errors, and its place in the broader historical context all contribute to its potential value. However, like many coins, most 1963 pennies are worth only their face value, as they are relatively common and were produced in large numbers. It's important for collectors to carefully evaluate each coin to determine its worth and assess whether it has unique characteristics that could increase its value. If you are interested in selling or purchasing a 1963 penny, one of the best ways to determine its value is to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. These services will assess the coin's condition and assign it a grade, which will help determine its market value. Coins that are graded highly, such as MS-65 or MS-66, will typically be worth more than those in lower grades. Additionally, coins with minting errors or unique features may attract higher prices in the marketplace. In conclusion, the 1963 penny is a coin that holds interest for collectors, even though it was produced in large quantities and is generally worth only its face value. Its value can be influenced by factors such as its condition, the presence of minting errors, and its place in U.S. history. While most 1963 pennies are not particularly rare, collectors may find special examples that are worth more due to their unique characteristics or historical significance. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the 1963 penny remains an intriguing piece of U.S. currency with the potential for discovery and appreciation in value. His is no ordinary penny. It's a simple, everyday coin, right? Or maybe it's something much more. Something that could be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Hidden errors, a fascinating history, and rare discoveries. What if your 1998 penny holds a secret treasure? What if this small, seemingly insignificant piece of copper and zinc is actually hiding a treasure worth more than you could ever imagine? And stay with us, because we'll reveal a 1998 penny that sold for over $10,000, and what made it so valuable. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 penny, minted during a pivotal time in U.S. coinage. The design, as you can see, features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The penny hasn't changed much over the years, and it's one of the most recognizable coins in the world. But there's more to this little piece of currency than meets the eye. Did you know that there were 2 different minting locations for these pennies? That's right, some 1998 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and others at the Denver Mint, each with its own distinctive mint mark, or lack thereof. But here's where it gets interesting. What if your 1998 penny is not just a regular coin, but one with an error or variation that could make it worth a small fortune? In fact, the value of these pennies isn't as simple as their face value. Some of them are hiding rare and valuable secrets. But we'll get to that in just a moment. First, let's talk about what makes the 1998 penny different from millions of other pennies minted each year. Now, let's dive deeper into what makes the 1998 penny so special. There are a few key errors and variants that collectors and numismatists are absolutely obsessed with. These aren't just any ordinary mistakes, they're rare anomalies that could make your penny worth thousands. First up, the wide AM versus close AM error. On the reverse side of the coin, in the inscription United States of America, the space between the letters A and M in America can be a telltale sign. A normal penny will show a close AM style, where the letters are positioned closely together. However, some 1998 pennies were struck with a wide AM. And here's where it gets interesting. The wide AM error happened because proof dies, which are used to strike proof coins, were mistakenly used for regular circulation coins. As a result, the letters A and M were spaced too far apart, creating the wide AM error. But how valuable is this error? Well, you're not going to believe it, but some of these pennies could fetch thousands of dollars. In fact, the rarest ones have sold for astronomical prices. But that's not all. There's another major error we have to talk about, the double die error. The double die error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing certain areas, like Lincoln's face or the lettering, to appear doubled. It's an unmistakable feature, and if you find one of these on a 1998 penny, you could be sitting on a real goldmine. But the errors don't stop there. We're not even close to revealing all the valuable mistakes that can happen during the minting process. There's also something called die cracks and cuds. Let me show you how these imperfections, created when the mint dies crack or wear out, can actually increase the value of your coin. So, what is the value of a 1998 penny in today's market? A standard 1998 penny, in circulated condition, is worth just 1 cent, pretty underwhelming, right? But once you start adding in the rare error types we've mentioned, the value can skyrocket. Coins that have been properly graded and found to be in pristine condition can fetch a lot more than you might expect, but there's one 1998 penny in particular that broke records, sold for more than $10,000. How could a 1-cent coin be worth so much? Stick with us, because you'll be shocked when you find out what made this penny worth more than a car, and why it fetched such an incredible price. In 2021, a 1998 wide AM penny, in pristine condition, sold for an eye-watering $12,000. You heard that right, $12,000 for a penny. But what exactly made this particular penny so special? It wasn't just the wide AM error. It was the condition of the coin. Graded at MS 67, or mint state 67, this penny was nearly flawless, a true gem. And that, my friends, is why this little coin could command such an incredible price. The condition of the coin is crucial. Coins that are well preserved, with sharp details and no wear, are the ones that bring in the big bucks. Grading is an art and a science. Professional graders, like those at PCGS or NGC, assess a coin's condition based on factors such as its luster, surface quality, and the presence of any scratches or marks. A coin with an MS 67 grade is considered to be in excellent condition, making it incredibly valuable. And as you can imagine, the rarer the error, the more valuable the coin. Now that you know a little more about what makes a 1998 penny valuable, you might be wondering, how can you spot these rare, valuable coins yourself? Don't worry, we're here to guide you through the process. First, you'll want to carefully examine the reverse side of the penny. Look closely at the spacing between the and M in America. Is it wide or close? Wide AMs are the ones you're after. Go ahead, grab a magnifying glass and let's check your 1998 pennies together. You might have a rare wide AM or double die error sitting in your change jar right now. Before we move on, let's take a quick look at some fun facts about the 1998 penny. Did you know that the US Mint produced more than 5.5 billion pennies that year? That's right, billions of pennies flooded the market. But of all those billions, only a small fraction contained the errors we've talked about. And here's another fun fact, in 1998, it actually cost the US Mint more than a penny to produce a single penny. Hard to believe, right? And the penny's place in US culture is just as interesting. People argue about whether the penny should even exist anymore, with some advocating for its elimination. But for collectors like us, the penny isn't just currency, it's history. So, you found a rare 1998 penny, what now? How do you sell it and get the most money for your valuable coin? The first step is to get your coin graded by a professional service. Services like PCGS and NGC are trusted in the numismatic world and can provide a grade that will help buyers determine the coin's value. But where can you sell these rare pennies? Whether you choose to visit a local coin shop, auction it online, or sell through a platform like eBay, there are many options available to you. And we've got the inside scoop on how to maximize your sale price. But now, let's answer the most important question. How likely is it that you'll find a valuable 1998 penny in your pocket change? Keep watching, this might surprise you. Finding a rare 1998 penny in your change isn't as common as you might think. The wide AM error and other variants are relatively rare, but that doesn't mean they're impossible to find. In fact, there are stories of collectors stumbling upon these treasure coins in their everyday pocket change. If you know what to look for, your chances of finding one go up. Want to increase your chances? Stick around for some tips on how to maximize your search. Whether it's searching rolls of pennies or buying unsearched lots, you can put the odds in your favor. So there you have it, the 1998 penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding a treasure worth more than you could imagine. Whether it's a rare wide AM, a double die error, or just a perfectly preserved coin, the 1998 penny is a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. If you enjoyed uncovering the secrets of the 1998 penny, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin discoveries, and let us know in the comments, have you ever found a rare penny? Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting. The 1962 penny is a coin that might seem unremarkable at first glance, but it carries with it an intriguing story, historical significance, and potential for collectors to find valuable examples. Pennies from this year, just like those from any other year, were produced by the U.S. Mint as part of the ongoing circulation of the small cent, the lowest denomination of U.S. currency. However, there are various reasons why the 1962 penny, like its older and younger counterparts, may attract attention in the numismatic community. While the majority of these coins are worth just 1 cent, certain factors, such as the coin's condition, minting errors, and its place in history, can make it a rare and valuable find for collectors. First, it's important to understand the context of the 1962 penny within the history of U.S. coinage. By 1962, the U.S. penny had already undergone significant changes since its introduction in the late 18th century. In 1909, the U.S. Mint began producing the Lincoln cent to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, front, and, until 1959, had an image of 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, back. In 1959, the design on the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which remained in use until 2008, when the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse design as part of the Lincoln Bicentennial Series, the 1962 penny, produced by the U.S. Mint during President John F. Kennedy's time in office, bore the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse design. The year 1962, however, was also marked by the ongoing transition in coin composition that affected many U.S. coins. The penny continued to be composed primarily of copper, with 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, until 1982, when the mint switched to the copper-plated zinc composition that is used today. The 1962 penny, therefore, was part of the last wave of copper pennies before the shift to a different metal composition. In terms of appearance, the 1962 penny has a distinctive look due to its copper composition. Over time, copper coins develop a natural patina as they age, often turning a reddish-brown color. Because of this, the 1962 penny, like many older copper pennies, can develop an attractive, worn look as it passes through circulation. These natural variations in color and wear can affect the coin's value in ways that may be appealing to collectors looking for well-preserved examples. For collectors, one of the most crucial factors when evaluating the 1962 penny's value is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor P to mint state MS, with higher grades reflecting better preservation of the coin's original features. The quality of the coin's design and the extent of wear are key indicators of value. A well-preserved 1962 penny that has been kept in excellent condition, showing minimal wear, can be more valuable than a heavily circulated one. Many of these coins may show some signs of wear, such as scratches or marks from handling, but those that remain in better condition may fetch higher prices among collectors. In addition to its condition, another way to add value to the 1962 penny is through the presence of minting errors. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process at the U.S. Mint, resulting in coins that are flawed in some way. These errors can take many forms, from small details like misprints or die cracks to more significant errors such as off-center strikes or double dies. Minting errors are highly sought after by coin collectors, as they represent rare and unique mistakes in the production process. One of the most famous types of minting errors for the 1962 penny is the double die error. This error occurs when the coin's dies, which are used to stamp the design onto the coin, are misaligned or imperfectly created. As a result, the design appears doubled or shifted, particularly in the numbers and letters. In the case of a 1962 penny, a double die error could manifest as a doubling of the 1962 date or the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust. These errors can be subtle, but they significantly affect the coin's value. A 1962 double die penny can be worth a considerable amount more than its face value, depending on the extent of the doubling and the coin's condition. Another error to look out for is an off-center strike. Off-center pennies occur when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in a coin that has part of its design missing or misaligned. Off-center strikes can range from being slightly off-center to being dramatically misaligned, and the more extreme the error, the more valuable the coin can be. An off-center 1962 penny can be a unique and rare find, and its value can vary depending on how off-center the design is. Die cracks are another common minting error that can be found on 1962 pennies. Die cracks occur when the die that is used to strike the design on the coin becomes damaged, causing a crack to form in the die. This crack then gets transferred to the coin during the minting process, leaving a visible line or mark on the coin's surface. While die cracks are less dramatic than double dies or off-center strikes, they can still make a 1962 penny more valuable. Collectors who specialize in die varieties often seek out coins with interesting die cracks, as they add a layer of history and rarity to the coin. In addition to minting errors, the 1962 penny's value can also be influenced by its rarity. While the 1962 penny was produced in large quantities, over 1 billion were minted, certain variations of the coin can be rarer than others. The presence of a mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco, can make a 1962 penny more desirable to collectors, as some collectors focus on acquiring coins from specific mints. However, 1962 pennies without a mint mark, which were produced in Philadelphia, can still hold their own in terms of value, particularly if they exhibit rare minting errors or are in excellent condition. When it comes to evaluating a 1962 penny, collectors often turn to professional grading services to get an accurate and unbiased assessment of the coin's condition and authenticity. These grading services assign a numeric grade to the coin, which helps determine its value on the market. Coins that are graded highly, such as MS-65 or MS-66, can fetch a significantly higher price than coins with lower grades, such as VG-8 or F-12. Having a coin professionally graded can be a worthwhile investment, as it gives potential buyers confidence in the coin's quality and can help it command a higher price when sold. In conclusion, while the 1962 penny may seem like an ordinary piece of currency, it can hold significant value for collectors and numismatists. Whether it's the coin's condition, rare minting errors, or its historical context, the 1962 penny is more than just a lowly cent. Coins from this year, particularly those with unique features or flaws, can be worth far more than their face value. As with any coin collecting pursuit, understanding the factors that influence a coin's value, from its condition to its rarity and minting errors, is essential for collectors looking to discover a hidden treasure in their pocket change. If you have a 1962 penny in your collection, it might just be time to take a closer look and see if it holds more than a single cent of value.